Hi, my name is Denise Robinson from Dee's Dublin Life, and you are listening to the Social Media Talks podcast with Alan Hennessy from compassmedia.ie.
Before we begin this episode, we'd like to give a big shout out to our sponsors and also our supporters. The Social Media Talks podcast is sponsored by Content Cal, creating a solution to simplify and speed up how teams can plan, collaborate on, approve, publish and analyze social media content in a familiar and intuitive calendar interface. In just 3 years, they have been trusted by over 10,000 businesses and agencies in 110 countries to deliver social media content at scale and have recently won an award for the Content Management Tool of the Year. For more information on Content Cal, visit their website at contentcal.io. We would also like to remind you the Social Media Talks podcast is proudly supported by charityradio.ie, one of Ireland's leading online radio stations supporting charities across Ireland for free. And now, this week's episode.
Hey, this is John Lee Dumas from Entrepreneurs on Fire, and you are listening to the Social Media Talks podcast with Alan Hennessy from Compass Media. This is the podcast to help business owners who want to learn more about digital and social media marketing. You are prepared to ignite.
Welcome to Social Media Talks podcasts, brought to you by compassmedia.ie.
Hello and thank you for joining me. This is the Social Media Talks podcast brought to you by compassmedia.ie, episode number 72. I'm your host Alan Hennessy, and this is the podcast to help business owners who want to learn more about social media marketing. And if you'd like to listen to any of our previous podcasts, you can log on to our website at compassmedia.ie/podcasts. You can also join our Facebook group by logging on to facebook.com/groups/social media talks. And we're looking forward to today's show. Today I'm going to be joined by Denise Robinson. And Denise is a female entrepreneur, a businesswoman, a vlogger, and the CEO of Dee's Dublin Life, a lifestyle vlog that shows people who want to visit Dublin and want to soak up the atmosphere of the city centre and surrounding areas. Her vlog includes places to see and visit around the city from a visitor's point of view, and also includes the very best places to eat, shop and the nightlife in Dublin as well. And in recent times, through the success of the vlog and the comments that she's received on her vlog, she now helps people and mentors them in style, confidence and mindset as well. She also works with brands and companies to promote their businesses through her vlog. With over 3,000 followers on social media, she has become an influencer in Dublin. And today we're going to be talking to Denise all about vlogging and how we can build our vlog and how we can understand what is the best steps and tips and tricks to learn how to vlog. So without further ado, I think we will transition straight over to the interview with Denise. Hi Denise, how are you? Thanks for joining us today on the Social Media Talks podcast. It's a pleasure to have your company. How are you today?
Hi, Alan. I'm great. Thank you. Thank you very much for inviting me.
Brilliant stuff. And of course, today we're going to be talking all about vlogging. I'm intrigued to find out, and I have been following you on all of the social media platforms, and always get a great response, and always learn something new every day as well.
Thank you. So, you get a laugh with mine, that's for sure.
Well, that's the whole thing about it, isn't it? So I suppose before we start, and before we get into the conversation about this, I've given you a brief introduction at the start of the podcast, but if you could maybe give us a little bit more detail on yourself before we get stuck into our chosen topic here today.
Okay, well, my name's Denise Robinson. I live in Dunleary, and I have a blog on my Facebook which is called Dee's Dublin Life, and also on Twitter and Instagram. And I have my website, which is deniserobinson.ie.
Brilliant stuff. That's not a Dublin accent anyway, so...
yeah, I know. I'm starting to pick up some of the little things going in Dublin. I find myself picking up certain things, and people going, you're starting to change your accent. I said, I don't think I'll ever lose this accent.
Of course, and you're originally from Hollywood, isn't it?
Hollywood in the north, in County Down, yeah.
Very good, very good. And of course, today we're going to be talking all about vlogging, and I think it's safe to say, I suppose it's another dimension of blogging as we know it, and the written form. It's now the video format,
Videos,
really.
Yeah,
and I think it's really, like, obviously it's very, very important. Obviously, across social media, we all know that and we all see that. But I also I know from just looking even at your own vlogs that some of the reactions you get on it are fantastic. How did that all come about?
Well, it's interesting, Alan, because I moved down to Dublin in January 2018, the 3rd of January to be exact, and it was pretty cold to Dunleary, and I'm very fortunate, I live quite close to the pier, and I absolutely love it here, it's fabulous. But so the Beast from the East kicked in at the end of February, start of March, and I was kind of homebound, myself and my little dog, and I thought, do you know what, I'm going to start a blog. I would like to start writing about my new experiences living in Dublin, because I moved down to Dublin as a single person with my dog, and kind of knew some people, but not lots of people. And I thought, you know what, I've just had enough. I fancy change, and I'm going to do it. So I was in my 40s, and I guess a lot of people thought this was a big thing to do. It was, so when I look back, it was a big thing to do, really, but it was the right thing for me to do, and I'm really glad I made that decision. So I started the blog. 3 days at home with the fire and the snow outside. So I started writing basically about moving to Dublin and what you can achieve, anything you like in life. Who says you're too old, who says you can't do it, just go for it. And I really started, I suppose, having the crack talking about dating and the apps today and what it's like out there, going out and dates with people, and how the world has changed dramatically in that area. So that started it off, and I was telling all these funny stories, and I found myself then doing the videos, because I was down the pier with the dog. Once the weather cleared up, that was, I started going down the pier with the dog, and I find it very relaxing to do the video and just talk naturally and be yourself and tell the story as it happened. Like you went out on the date, this happened, blah, blah, blah. And people find it very funny. And so it just, I just kept doing that and writing the odd story. And then that developed then into, I then started just naturally talking about my life as it transpired at weekends in Dublin, out and about around the city, going to various gigs, going to events, going to restaurants, shopping with my job, touring around Ireland with work. And I just literally just talk about my life.
So it's more of a lifestyle. It's more of and I say a lifestyle, it's more of a lifestyle blog as opposed to, anything else more. And I think that's how you started it, really, was, as you say, like doing that. And I think,
that's it. Yeah.
And
that's
I think
how it kind of started naturally, just that, like, really no reason, like no real, this is where I'm going to go with this, or I'm going to go there with that. I just started it just literally for fun, and it has really taken off from then in various different directions, which I hadn't certainly planned for, but which is great, because since talking about being single and how difficult it can be to meet people, and when you meet people, how weird people can be, etc., I found myself gathering followers of people who can relate to my stories, who can literally, if I'm sitting watching a movie with the fire lit and a glass of wine, I maybe take a picture, put it in my blog, Friday night, isn't it bliss, finished work, having a glass of wine. And it's amazing. People can so relate to that, because it's real. It's what they're probably doing themselves. Yeah. Perhaps rather than someone sitting with a glass of champagne in a 5-star hotel. Not everyone can relate to that, because not everybody can do it.
Well, and then the other side of that is a lot of it, a lot of that type of stuff can be staged, if nothing else. Like there's, it's very easy to walk into a hotel lobby and order a glass of champagne and sit there and say, "Oh, look where I am." Whereas, I think your blog is really, it's very real, and people can, as you say, relate to that. And I think through people relating to that, I think people connect with you, because they sort of say, well, hold on here now. I'm in a similar situation, or I'm in a similar environment, or whatever. So, I think that, and I think that's the beauty as well of recording a vlog, even, because people see that.
They see the real you. You know, you're not.
Exactly.
There's so much. I just think social media can be a very fake world, and I just think that it's slightly, it breeds certain insecurities with people, because people want to be a Kardashian or whatever that is. They aspire to be these people, and it's not real. You know, I think that I rather just be authentically me, and I'm just me. Like me or leave me, love me or leave me, whatever you want to say. You know, I am what I am. I don't try to be something else. I tell it as it is. I tell the true stories of people who are nice to me. You know, I tell the whole truth. I don't tarnish it. I just say it as it is. And then I also talk about the city. Like, I've always loved Dublin. I grew up, I always came down here as a kid, and I've always wanted to live here. But my life went a certain path, and I never made it until my 40s. But here I am now. So I have a lot of passion for Dublin and for the things that I do here. So when I'm blogging about it and talking about it and doing the videos in the bars, in the restaurants, you know, out at night, even on Grafton Street, oh, I'm so excited to be here on a Saturday afternoon, look at the sunshine, I'm listening to the buskers. I really mean it, because I'm passionate about it.
Yeah.
So, you know, and I think people can see that, and people would say, God, you really love that Dublin, don't you? People in the north who follow me say, you really love that. You see how happy you are. And they're right, because I am so happy. And so I'm sharing lots of things. I'm sharing my experiences. I'm sharing my new happiness that I've found. I'm sharing how life can be still wonderful. I also then, I'm getting people following me who are in a similar situation, who are feeling I'm inspiring them, because I had to get up and go to say, right, that's it, I'm doing it. I'm up every day, I'm having the fun, I'm also being positive. I'm saying, look at the good in life, be grateful for what you've got. And people are starting to relate to that, and I'm beginning to find that I'm helping people.
Yeah. So have you actually taken that on now, where you actually you're in that?
Yeah.
You know, so it's amazing when you look at that from a point of view of where, you know, as you say, it just started off with being stuck inside and for 3 days, and you couldn't get out. So you said, right, well, let's start this. How it has developed and the way how it's grown and whatever. And you can see that, even with some of the comments that you see on your blog about actually people actually commenting. And so this is, as you say, has sort of turned into, it's people are now starting to connect with you, and sort of, you know, it's a great way of actually, you know, talking to people. But then when you start to help people like that, and, you know, obviously, you know, it is a business in a sense, but it has given a lot of people they would have a lot more connection with you, because they know that you've been there, and they can see the credibility of what you do.
Well, I get messages from women and men. I mean, I get messages from men too, and they all say, Denise, love your posts. You really make us feel great. One girl messaged me and she said, Denise, I put makeup on today because of you. She says, because I watched you down the pier at 9 o'clock in the morning, all happy, cheery, going here, going there, doing this, doing that. And she says, I thought, that's it, I'm getting up and putting my makeup on today. Because she was depressed about her personal life. And, you know, the thing is, people message me and they send me nice stuff and asking for my advice. And I think, gosh, isn't that amazing? That's brilliant that there's been nights I've sat here and I get messages, I think, oh my gosh, that is so awesome. Like, that is so nice that person messaged me to say that. Then
that, of course, leads on to actually working with these type of people that are, and I say with these type, I don't mean these as in single them out, but people who are in that situation where they may need. So I think that's, you know, it's brilliant to be able to do that. And help,
some people have just lost their mojo. They've lost their confidence, and like I did in the past, so I can relate to all of this. They've lost their confidence. They need someone to help them, guide them, maybe start out again. They've been in a 20-year marriage. They don't know what it's like to date. They don't know what it's like, how to dress, how to get their hairstyle. Simple things like that you lose touch with. Yeah. So I'm helping people in that area. And I'm actually, you know, I've met with people. I've helped them with where to go to get clothes, and went out shopping with them, you know, guided them with, you know, chat as well, you know.
So you sort of become the style icon as well. And
the mentor. I know. Well,
but it is though, like when you look at that, like, you know, it's and I think it's a fantastic story in the sense that we see, like, as I said at the start, like you started off this as just you and a camera type of thing, and you know, telling people the way, and now it's sort of developed into something that's more, I suppose, is a lot realer, because you're now actually starting to touch and help people.
Yeah,
and then
I've got to meet a lot of people, and the other side, and
And as you say then as well, it's not just being, helping them to be more inspired. It's actually starting to say, okay, right, well, now the next step of that is, let's go and I suppose, move them into the next situation of styling them as well. And then, so there's a huge amount of work that goes into that. But then, of course, then on the other side of this, and this is the part that I found fascinating when we talked off air, is that now that you have actually brands and because obviously you're talking to people and you're bringing people to these particular, outlets and shops and stuff like
establishments and bars and clubs.
That now that the other side of that is that the businesses are now taking that on board and saying, well, hold on, I see Denise in here and they're approaching you. So now you're starting to work with the brands and also with also the bars and the restaurants and stuff like that.
Yeah, because I've had hotels. I was in Galway there and I had a hotel contact me and say, oh, we'd love you to come back to Galway and come stay in our hotel, and talk about it. So things like that's great. That's great because, I passionately talk about it all anyway because I genuinely love it. So, it's better having that deep feeling and emotion for something than just doing it just for the sake of it. So I'm genuinely going to these bars and clubs and going, oh my God, look where I am, this is brilliant, I'm loving it. So that's genuinely coming across.
But the other side, and I suppose the other side of that from a business point of view is that people are seeing from, I suppose, and I suppose we can say from a visitor's point of view of what the bar is like. So it gives their community or online who are watching you are seeing that this is a great brand, this is a great place to be and whatever.
Yeah,
so it's a great opportunity for them to, not just tell the story from the business's point of view, but from the visitor's point of view as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But that's it. And that's what I feel, I kind of think to myself when I look at places that I go to, when I'm like, no matter where I go, sometimes you kind of think, oh God, you'll just sit there and not talk or not vlog or take photographs. But it's part of me now. It's just the way I am. No matter where I go, I think, oh, if I like it, I have to talk about this and I'll share it on my my blog. And I just think I have to keep just promoting what I enjoy doing.
And I suppose from that point of view is then that, and like I know you have a number of businesses that have a number of brands and stuff like that you actually are working for, where they have actually approached you and said like, oh Dee, like we've seen your stuff that you done on your social media and your blogging and stuff, we need to have a look at this. And I don't, obviously you can't go into details because obviously you're working with them, but the same token that, and it just shows that the opportunities there from vlogging can come, where this has sort of changed the whole dynamic of what you were doing to now what you're doing. So, and I think that's fantastic, the way that, brands are now starting to, contact you, and you've started to develop a great business sense there, where you're able to go in as a visitor and on the other side of the coin and showcase, I suppose, their businesses by doing that. And that has, it's really good like that way. So I think that's where, it has changed the dynamic of the way businesses are now connecting with people.
Absolutely. I think social media is a great way for exposure. It's a great way to get your brand out there, to get if it's a restaurant, a club, bar, shop, whatever, it's a great way to get exposure from people that may not know about you. So if I'm talking about, I'll give you a good example. I'm promoting places in Dublin because I genuinely love them, and places I regularly go to, and the way we come here, blah, blah, blah. People in the north who have never been to Dublin, but not in any depth, they're watching me and going, oh my gosh, this is great, didn't know about that. And they're messaging me and saying, Denise, where will I go? I'm coming to Dublin for the night. Where will I stay? Where will I eat? Where will I go? What's the best bar to go to? So I'm getting these messages now from friends of mine and people who I don't even know in the north who follow me and said, well, I'm coming down with my friends for stag or hen or whatever. So that's great because they're looking at me as the Dublin expert.
Well, I suppose in a sense they're looking at you as a visitor's unofficial guide type of thing. but where
exactly,
it's, you know, it helps, and it helps that you, but like obviously because of what you have a large following on social media now from doing this, it's starting to grow. So I suppose the businesses are now looking and saying, well, hold on, this is an influencer within Dublin who can, you know, who can promote us. So I think that's, you know, and I think that's amazing to see, you know. So,
I've even got followers from Canada and America and places who message me and say, oh, good morning, Ireland. Oh, I love your, like, say I'm on the pier, or say I'm in Killiney or whatever, or down in Sandy Cove. You'll say, oh, it looks beautiful today. Good morning from Canada, or good morning from wherever. You know, so there it's exposing Ireland as well around the world, you know, whoever's following you.
Which is your tourism.
The tourist side, absolutely,
And then, of course, then you become brand ambassadors as well. Like, you know, then obviously, you know, there's businesses out there, I presume, that, like, I know you work with one particular brand where you are a brand ambassador for them in a sense. So that's great to be able to see that, and where people are actually starting to notice that, you know, from that as well. So yeah, it's really, really excellent.
I know, it's great. I actually really love it. And I love talking about Dublin because I guess I'm just passionate about it as well, which obviously helps.
So if there's any brands out there listening, now definitely you have to get in contact with Denise. She'll help you to promote from in a different way, which is it's amazing.
In a fun
you know what I mean?
way as well, you know, and also totally. And like, my blog is Dee's Dublin Life, so anything that happens in Dublin, I'm perfect for.
You're on it like a hot. Exactly. And then, of course, and also I want to talk about is that, you know, like, we're talking about as you say, businesses, and then, you know, I know you were one of the members of the Dublin Chamber, and through that networking, there has been a lot of exciting things have happened in the last couple of months as well for you.
Yeah. Dublin Chamber's been brilliant for me. I find I've made a lot of friends through it and a lot of great business connections. But I also made a great connection with a gentleman at one of the events, and he asked me to be the face of his big up-and-coming event, which was to beat the Guinness World Record speed dating event at his building, which was the CHQ building, on Valentine's night. Wow. So we had 1,000 people there. I promoted it through radio, TV, newspaper, blogging about it continuously, and we got 1,000 people there, and it was an absolutely amazing night. I ended up doing MC as well on the night, and I loved it so much. So, you know, I love participating in things like that. I'm a pretty big organizer type person, so you know, and I just absolutely loved it. You know,
is there anything that you don't do? between blogging, vlogging, brand ambassadors,
dating agency,
you know, style icon, inspirational speaker, and like, I know you had an event there a couple of weeks back where you were actually talking about mindset and stuff like that. So, you know, and I think really, when you look at all of this, it really is, and, you know, we look at the mindset, and from doing that, I suppose, when we look across all of the different areas that you're involved with, it has to have a mindset, and you have to have the, you know, that positive, and that's that positivity as well. You know, and I'm intrigued. Like, I love the idea of a Guinness World Record and being involved with something like that. So it'll be interesting now to see the results of that when they do come true. So fingers crossed on that one, definitely. I
know, we'd love to break the record. And then I was on First Dates Ireland in January as well, January 2018, and I asked then Matteo, would he come along just to do some, you know, photography for help promote the event, and he was brilliant. He came along as well, and we were actually asked to go on TV the actual night of First Dates, but we couldn't because the actual night, or not First Dates, sorry, the speed dating event, but because it was on at tea time, and the TV show we were asked to go on to was at tea time, we couldn't do both. So, but he was great at help us push it as well. But yeah, so I mean, I think it all kind of intertwines, you know, that helping people having that mindset, being more confident, being more positive, maybe that just all kind of comes together, and the whole thing all works great, I think.
Amazing, absolutely amazing. Yeah, and of course, if anyone wants to follow Dee, or I was going to say, yeah, well, it is Dee. Well, it's sort of Denise, but the actual,
I get D a lot. Yeah, well, I called it D's Dublin Life because I thought that rhymed better than Denise's Dublin Life. so D's Dublin Life's good. But people can call me what they want, Denise or D, whichever's easier.
Yeah, so if you're looking to follow you, it's D's Dublin Life on Facebook and also on Twitter and also on Instagram as well. Yeah, and then of course the website is deniserobinson.ie if you want to get in contact as well, because there's loads of stuff there as well on our website. I know you're currently at the moment updating it at the moment, so I know it's there's going to be
I just put it up briefly just to kind of have a presence where people can see what I've been doing since I moved here, and I'm really only here 16 months in Dublin. So I think that I've just been like, every day I think there's not enough hours in the day. I've got this to do, that to do, I need to achieve this, need to achieve that, and I feel I have achieved quite a bit in the 16 months.
I think you have. I think you have.
But I would love to do, I love to get involved in more events, and I like continuing obviously blogging and promoting businesses around Dublin, and also helping people. I enjoy helping people as well, people who just feel they need a little bit of guidance, I could say, with regards to getting back out there and feeling confident again.
Brilliant stuff. And I could sit here and talk to you all night about this, because it's fascinating. And the key takeaways here from me, just listening to what you're saying, is how vlogging can open up so many different doors and so many different avenues, bring you down so many different avenues, and it really has helped, I suppose, build your brand and build your business as much as anything else. So, what would be your key advice to people who are thinking about going on and starting a vlog?
Well, I think if you want to do vlogging, writing one thing, but actually doing videos is a different thing. You have to be relaxed, you have to be natural, and you just have to be yourself. People often say to me, "Oh, Denise, I don't know how you do that. How do you go on?" And sometimes I'm walking along the pier talking to the phone. I'm sure people look at me and think, "Oh, what is she at?" But I naturally enjoy it. I just chat away as if I'm talking to my friends, and that's what comes across. Whereas I think if you're going to be doing it and you're all awkward and tense and nervous and you're not thinking you sound too hot, you're not that confident, maybe it's not for you. But you need to overcome that, and I think you could overcome it with practice. And just think in your mind, there might be millions of people listening to me here, but there's nobody actually looking at you. So I always just imagine I was talking to the phone. I don't see anybody behind the phone. So when I do my videos and put them up.
Yeah, and I suppose the other side of that is it's, what I'm hearing from you here is to be natural and, and be real, because, and that does shine true, because, most people can spot someone that is very fake and just doing it for the sake of it, and I mean. Whereas if you're actually natural about it, and I think that's probably one of the key areas as well. Because as I said, I could sit here and talk to you all night about this, but I know we are running short on time, and I always ask my guests at the end of the show one simple question, and it's not related to the podcast, but the question I pose to you is if you had the chance to invite someone to dinner, whether it be past or present, who would it be?
Oh, well, I would definitely have to say Marilyn Monroe.
Why am I not surprised about that?
I absolutely love her. I know she's no longer with us, sadly, but I've read all her books, and I just find her a very fascinating person, and very, very sad ending, but a truly amazing person. And I would love to meet her, and I would have loads of questions to ask her.
Brilliant stuff. Brilliant. How can, if people want to talk to you and reach out to you, or companies or businesses want to reach out to you, how can they get in contact with you?
Well, on my website, there's a contact page there, or through my blog, or but probably through the website, probably, or the Facebook page would be easier.
And the website is www.deniserobinson.ie. .ie, yeah, .ie.
And my telephone numbers and everything are all on the website as well. So
brilliant stuff. And what we'll do is we'll put all of that information in the show notes as well. So if you do want to get in contact with Denise, that's how you can do it. So Denise, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you, and I'm sure we'll be seeing you on Facebook, and you're probably going to get loads of new followers now. They'll be all if they aren't following you already, they'll be all intrigued now and want to learn more about you. So if you are,
well, thank you.
If you're travelling to Dublin or to Ireland, do check out Denise's vlogs, because they're brilliant and they're very inspirational, but they're also as well a lot of fun. So guys, definitely have a look at it, and you can find her also on Facebook, Twitter, and also on LinkedIn as well, as far as I know, and Instagram.
Yeah,
you're on
Instagram,
them across all the social media platforms.
I'm everywhere.
Everywhere. Brilliant stuff. Well, Denise, as I said,
Alan.
thanks so much for coming on the podcast. Wish you continued success, and we'll talk to you soon. So thanks a lot for coming on.
Thank you so much. Nice. Thank you very much.
Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
So my thanks to Denise for coming on the podcast today and sharing with us some tips and tricks of how we should be vlogging online as well. And if you want to find out more information about Dee, you can jump onto her website at deniserobinson.ie. You can also follow her across all of the social media platforms, and you can also see all of her vlogs up on social media at Dee's Dublin Life. So once again, my thanks to Denise for coming on the podcast today and chatting with us. And if you'd like to listen to any of our previous podcasts, you can log on to our website at compassmedia.ie/podcasts. And all of the podcasts are available on Mixcloud, Stitcher Radio, Google Play, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. And if you'd like to leave us a rating and review, we will be delighted, as we are always thrilled to receive your feedback on any of the podcasts. You can also subscribe to the Social Media Talks podcast so you never miss an episode there as well. And if you like the show notes for this episode or for any of the previous episodes, log on to our website at compassmedia.ie/show notes. And if you'd like to be a guest on the podcast, please do get in contact with us. All you have to do is email us at smtalks@compassmedia.ie. And if you want to find out more about the services that Compass Media provide, you can log on to the website and find out all about social media marketing, training, podcast services as well there. You can also reach out and connect with me across Twitter, Facebook, Instagram or LinkedIn. All you have to do is search for Alan Hennessy or for Compass Media, and I will be delighted to connect with you. That's about all for today. So until next week at the same time, have a great week, and as I always say, be social. Until next week, bye-bye.
Social Media Talks podcast is a production from compassmedia.ie.